Okay, so this week we're going to talk about the trapezius muscles. The trapezius is on the back, and they are triangular shaped muscles. The cool thing about them are you can become aware of different parts of them depending on what you're wanting to do. So the lower fibers of the trapezius muscles, they help to draw the shoulders downwards. When you draw the shoulders downwards, that helps to open up the chest muscles, stretching out the pectoralis major as well as minor. And then the middle fibers, they team up with the rhomboids and they squeeze the shoulder blades together. And then lastly, the upper fibers, they actually draw the shoulders forward. So it's almost like that hunching action that we start to do during our day at the computer or at the desk. So when we bring awareness into these muscles, basically if they're weak, it limits us from pressing down and adding that upper body strength. It's hard for us to go into Gomukhasana, but I found a great way to help strengthen them, and Dr. Ray Long has mentioned this, I believe, but you could simply be using blocks. You could bring blocks down beside you, and to strengthen the trapezius muscles, simply press down into the blocks and lift your butt off the floor. So I recommend, if you're going to do a class that is involving like handstands or headstands, mainly handstands, or if you're going to go into full wheel pose, simply awaken the trapezius muscles using blocks if you can, if you have blocks or big thick books. Also, you can just try using the hands or make fists. Sometimes it's difficult for people. Their arms might be too short or their torsos might be too long, depending on how the body is built. But after a couple of rounds of just pressing into the blocks, lifting your butt off the floor, you really start to become aware of the function of the trapezius muscle, especially the lower fibers. I like to try to make things accessible for all people. So I found that you could go into dolphin pose and kind of get a feel for what it would be like to go into a handstand pose. So simply find on your mat, table, and actually lower the forearms down. So those elbows come down, forearms on the floor. Dolphin pose is similar to down dog, but you don't have your hands on the floor. So when you lift into dolphin pose, try to bring the ears between the arms. Now, fingers can be interlaced or not, but the main key is to have the shoulders, the elbows about shoulder width apart. And if people can't really visualize it, or you see that they're kind of willy-nilly, simply just have them hold on to the opposite bicep, and that helps to align the elbows. Then from there, again, you could interlace fingers or not. One more little tidbit is if you find that the hands are starting to come together, simply take a block and place the block between the hands. Now, coming up into dolphin pose, you could simply press into the forearms, moving the torso further away. And then the lower fibers, again, lower fibers draw the shoulder blades downwards. So when you contract the lower fibers of the trapezius, that actually brings head closer to the floor. Upper fibers, press the head away. So again, I like to make this accessible so that other students who, for whatever reason, are not comfortable or able to do handstands, they can kind of get the same effect doing the dolphin pose and understand what the trapezius is about. So I hope this was beneficial for you. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. So thank you very much for watching.